your host. Yes, that's right. You know it. It's Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals, industry experts from all over the globe that inspire your personal life, help you grow your business, and just really blow your socks off with their ideas, their tips, the information they share, and some of their journey story. We have had some brilliant and amazing guests, and I am not going to disappoint you tonight either. We have some really happy, shining faces here. And so, Henry is the president and brand strategist of Vyoo, a branding and content company that he founded that focuses on impact companies. So, if you're a company or an entrepreneur that makes a difference, that really is out there to do something on a bigger and a grander scale, then Henry is the guy for you. Welcome, Henry.
Thank you, Jessica. Wonderful to be here.
Yes, it's awesome. And we also have the bold and the beautiful and the awesome statement glasses, Blanca. And Blanca is the owner of Wounded Healer LLC. That is an interesting title, a very intriguing, makes us all go, we need to know more about that. So welcome, Blanca.
Thank you so much, Jessica, for having me here. And I'm so happy to share this platform with Henry as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to learn some things. We're going to grow a little together, and you just don't know who you might inspire tonight. And that's right, you out there watching, you might get to inspire someone simply by pressing the share button or putting some of your information of your thoughts as we go through these different stages together in the comments below, because we want to hear from you. And we thank you for watching. We're going to go with the old school, old fashioned. Henry seems like very gentlemanly to me. We're going to go ladies first. So,
Of
Blanca,
course, of course.
share with us how you became and why you started. Well, first of all, tell us what Wounded Healer is, because then we can get some of the backstory of how it came to be. How about that?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Wounded healers are individuals that have been through traumatic experiences in life.
Mm-hmm.
And this enables us to help others be better and improve their quality of life through our stories, through our lessons. That is where Wounded Healer comes from.
Ah, I love that. And so, what was your little bit of your journey story that led you to starting this space?
I've been in the service industry for over 30 years of my life. I was born in New York City, raised in Puerto Rico. I've been 21 years here in the US. I'm a licensed massage therapist for almost 20 years. I'm a certified canine massage therapist, believe it or not, for 8 years as well. It's very interesting because canine massage has been around since 2700 BC. Actually, it's a very ancient practice, just as massage is. And massage therapy is about helping others feel better, helping others improve their quality of life. I am a medical massage therapist. That is my calling, that is my craft. And massage is about helping people feel better, is the manipulation of soft tissue or muscle with the purpose of healing or relaxation. That is what a wounded healer is. And why this powerful name? Because I come from childhood trauma. I come from a place that it was very, very difficult to grow up at. My father was, his was terminated at a very young age. I live around chronic mental illnesses untreated for most of my entire life. So taking all of that confusion, all that silence, all of that, you cannot talk about the day. You shouldn't talk about mental illnesses for so long. It was the route that took me to learn the lesson, to seek help, to speak up. And once I went down that route, everything came together. And that's definitely what inspired me to build Wounded Healer LLC. Because as much as has helped me in my journey, because definitely I practice what I preach, I can help others with their journey as well.
I love that. And who doesn't love a good massage? There's something really powerful about that. that energy of being really cared for in a deep and physical and even emotional way. I think it really does affect your emotional experience. I know that I have had some outstanding massages in my lifetime of all different types. They all came with different energy and different from different people. So thank you for sharing that, Blanca. Henry, tell us about Vyoo. I'm always so scared I'm going to get this wrong. We've got branding
No,
and content company, and you're really about helping people put their mission and vision and story out there in a way that can be received and spread easily, would be my guess. Am I close?
exactly, exactly. And what Blanca talked about is often a cathartic effect that probably happens when she engages with people. My cathartic moment, I think, happened a number of years ago. In spite of my boyish looks, I've been in this business for well over 25 years. I've worked for some very large ad agencies and ran many of my own over the years. I had one partner, unfortunately, who passed away.
Mm,
And he had succumbed to Alzheimer, and it was very sad to see him
mm,
go. At that point, I decided to reset myself, reset the way I would run business, and I wanted to go forward and only work with people and companies that would have a profound effect on society. So that really formed where I am today. Along the way, I've met many people who were looking to try to tell their story, build their personal brand, build the brand around their company. My book was really written to assist that because not, unfortunately, in the business that we're in, the fees are often, such that not everyone can enter into it.
mm,
This
mm.
hopefully will make my thoughts, my insights, my ideas accessible to many people. So
I
I'm
think that's
happy to be here
beautiful.
and talk about, how we
Yeah,
can maybe
and
affect
so
people.
prior to being in the ad space and the ad world and the media world, what was a bit of your journey there? Because I'm pretty sure you weren't kindergarten and saying I want to do branding when I grow up. Usually, it's a race car driver, firefighter, teacher, lawyer, doctor, one of those things.
I think all of the above you've mentioned.
Astronaut, I wanted
Yeah,
to be it all.
I
Dancer,
I actually
jet
grew up
pilot.
in the I grew up in the back of a Chinese restaurant, so not quite at that age, but I found I had a knack for storytelling, and as I went on in life, because of my parents, our language wasn't as many people who have come to North America. The first language isn't often English, so as I began learning English by going to school, I became the translator and the person that worked the front of the house, and through that, I found that through connecting with people, storytelling and sharing tales and being able to communicate became a wonderful way to connect. And that
Mhm.
really, I think, did have an effect on me as I went on in life and went on in my career.
It's fascinating how whatever anyone's beliefs are, I have huge heart of respect for that. Um, Whether you think it's the universe or for me it's God and energy and the universe all together in a beautiful bundle, but how things come your way just as you need them or just as you're putting extra focus on them because um, I've been doing a lot of research recently in the art of storytelling. So I've read Talk Like TED and Storyteller Secrets and Five Stars and Stories That Stick. And I'm in a woman's book club, and the next book we're going to review and we actually do the exercises together as a group, which makes the book much more profound, is Stories That Stick, because stories matter whether you're in a career, whether you're retired and you just want to be more interesting at a party, the structure of a story, how to deliver a story, the energy of a story, stories that people will remember later are so important. So I'm building actually a resource guide. And I've pulled a bunch of other experts on the art of storytelling and books for this a list. And so I will be adding the Telling Your Story book to that resource guide and list. So I'm super excited that you're here and that we're going to
Thank
get
you.
to hear
I'll
more.
be very happy to send you a copy, of course. I'm very touched that you would include that. Thank you.
Well, I would love that. And I would ask that if it's possible for you to send a love note and sign it. and I will hold it up, photo with it, and we'll post it out on our social media and reach about the 50,000 followers in our community that we have out there in the world. So, um,
Wonderful.
yeah, so I'd be happy to do that for you. I love that. So, customer journey, Blanca, talk to us. You talk to us about your expertise in helping people heal through traumas and this beautiful hands-on massage piece, and why you founded Wounded Healer LLC. What kind of customers come to you? What's rolling around in their head where they say, "Oh, I really need that Blanca and that Wounded Healer LLC. That's going to be the solution for this pain I'm feeling." What are the kinds of customers that approach you, and then what do they experience once they've reached out to you?
Well, in my experience working with a high variety of people, from sports people,
Mhm,
Ironman contestants, all the way to seniors. It's been a
mhm,
wide variety
mhm,
of different patients, clients. At this time, right now, I work for two rehab centers for drug addiction and alcohol abuse,
mhm,
and that is, in my opinion, in my career, that this is right now the most important mission that I have as a professional. As we all know, there is a crisis with
mhm,
addiction and alcohol abuse. And all of these patients, they find a beacon of hope through massage therapy and
mhm,
chiropractic care. That's the services that we provide,
mhm,
because many of them, they either have an auto accident. Most of them are auto accidents. They are
mhm,
prescribed painkillers, and that's
mhm,
when they go down the rabbit hole. Most of
mhm,
that's most of the cases. So there is a very physical reason why these patients may need these pills, but once they are discovering that there are other ways for them
mhm,
to heal, to feel better without the need of the poisonous effects of opioids,
mhm,
it's that is when I say, okay, my job is really done here. I'm over
mhm.
2 years of working at these centers. I do private practice as well, and this is what they all come to me for, to
So let me
feel
ask you,
better.
Blanca.
Yes.
So do they come to you to feel better? I didn't want to interrupt that statement. I want to
Yes.
make sure the audience heard that. But
Mhm.
Italians, if we don't jump in, we never get heard. But
My
it's
husband is Italian. I
how we're
understand.
raised and bred. So, it is what it is. I apologize. One of these
That's
days I'll
fine.
get better at it, is what I always say. And maybe yes, maybe no. So, uh, where again, remind us where you're physically located. So it sounds like really you're only taking patients and clients and people come work with you physically only, or is there a virtual component too, where you can help people on a more global or national level? Is it really strictly physically in person?
For massage therapy, yes, it's strictly
Mhm.
in person, but I do life coaching as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
that is when I go into a more broader
Yeah.
spectrum, because in my years of massage therapy, I have been coaching people, I
Mhm.
mean, constantly. There's people always asking for advice. What do you think I should do?
Mhm.
In your opinion, what is
Mhm.
your experience regarding, let's say, gardening for 4 hours? Gardening is hard. Gardening, people get really pretty messed up with gardening because of awkward body positions. So I
Mhm.
give them the best advice I could possibly give them. Whether they use the advice and apply it, that is another story. But I definitely give advice, the best advice I can give, in order for these individuals to have the best possible quality of life for the rest of our lives. Let's make it a permanent thing. Mhm.
So, if they were going to come to you physically as a client, where are you located?
I am located at a facility called Zen Medicine. I
Mm,
live in Stuart, Florida. I'm here in South Florida. So that is where I have my practice. And then the rehab centers, of course, is exclusively for
sure.
these patients, but I have my
Mhm.
private practice in Zen Medicine. Yeah.
Very good. All right. So if you're in South Florida, you're going to give her a ring. We're going to have a custom article of all the ways and places you can reach her so you can get your appointment and go through that amazing experience. If you are in South Florida, I'm green with envy because it'll be quite a hike for me to get there so that I could enjoy her magic hands.
Thank
But
you.
if you are not in South Florida and you're watching and you're anywhere else in the world and you think, you know what? This woman, I really feel a connection to, and I really feel like she can support me. We will make sure that you know exactly how to reach out to her to schedule a discovery call or some time with her so you can talk about the journey you may have from a life coaching standpoint. So, thank you for that, Blanca.
Absolutely.
How about you, Henry? When a client comes to you, they're just like, you know what? We are tired of throwing spaghetti and meatballs at all the social media platforms, trying to put content out there. None of it's working. We're not getting any engagement or clients. What is happening here? We don't have a plan. What are they saying when they come to you? What is the pains and the aches and the pinches that says we've got to call Henry Wong and really take a look at what Vyoo has to offer to see if we make a game changing move in our marketing strategy? So talk
Yeah.
to me about that.
Yeah, well, Jessica, you pointed out all the buttons and all the pain points that typically happen. We've tried this, we've spent so much money, and nothing's really happened. And this is really where you often have to go back to the core fundamentals. And this is where story is very important because that
Mhm.
informs everything. So many
Mhm.
people think, well, everybody's on TikTok these days, so we should be there, but maybe not, or
Mhm.
if you're there, how do you go about telling your story? How do you connect
Mhm.
with people? And that's really where the element of the narrative begins. So I
Mhm.
help a lot of companies, particularly ones which are founder based, because often people who have this passion to come up with a business have a great idea, but they don't necessarily know how to bring it to life or how to execute it and bring it to market. And that's
Mhm.
through various disciplines along the way. And it is a set methodology that I
Mhm.
follow. They are able to get to really what the essence of their purpose is and why they run the company, what their key positioning is in the marketplace, and then ultimately what is the message that comes out of it. Once you
Mhm.
figure all that out, the rest becomes suitably easy, meaning that everything that you do following it should reinforce that core message, that core story that you have.
Mhm.
So in that case, now you have a way to inform how you tell your story on social media, what sort of logo you should have, what sort of words you should have on the
Mhm.
website. Very, very important once you establish all of that.
So, share with us, are you the majority of your client base, or maybe it's all of these? I don't know. Or are you, we talking the Fortune 1000, some mid-sized companies? Are we talking that solopreneur who has their business and they're trying to get a clue about their brand and their brand story? Um, who most often comes to you? Give us an idea of about the size company or the
Yeah, I
kind of
mean, yeah,
organization.
you've covered the entire spectrum. So over the years, I've had the privilege of working with very large companies like Toyota, P&G. I've had the privilege as well of working with those solopreneurs that you mentioned. All of
Mhm.
them really do have a drive that wants them to get to market, and they're looking for a way at it. The companies I work with these days are, as I've mentioned in the beginning, impact ones that want to change the world, whether it's
Mhm.
through cybersecurity or through a unique food that they've come up with that can change and revolutionize the world, or just a new way of thinking. I've had the opportunity to work with professional athletes, a number of politicians who I
Mhm.
can't mention because of NDAs, who are in
Mhm.
power, and as well as just simple people who are looking to fundraise and need a way to get people hooked and bring them into their mission to tell their story.
I was going to mention nonprofits because one of the story examples I heard in one of in my journey and research on this topic to better improve it for my own business and life overall was a nonprofit that would have these fundraisers and have the speakers come, and they just weren't getting the making the moving the needle as far as the revenue went until they started bringing up speakers that weren't impressive or big names. they started bringing speakers who were experiencing the transformation of the nonprofit. And then that individual was truly telling their story of the
Mhm.
impact that organization made. And that was a game changer in their fundraising dollars, right? In a very big way. So do you have maybe a group coaching or a group product that, or is it just your book to help those really smaller startup companies or smaller business or entrepreneurs? Is that kind of the best way for them to get resources from you? And then really your kind
Yeah,
of mid-sized investor
exactly.
companies or your
Yeah.
actual clients?
Exactly. That's why what drove me to write the book, to give access to the sort of information. It's a step-by-step guide, a sort of
Good
self-help. So if people follow the methodology, they
formula.
should be able to drive it themselves. It may lack the sort of professional touch, but it's amazing what people can do once they begin to center and focus their story,
Mhm.
and be able to share that. You share that strong enough, and you have a mission. You get people to follow you, and you see this everything from politicians to cult leaders to people who simply run a business. Once people understand what you're all about and you're able to articulate it, the story
Mhm.
helps to form that emotional connection. But more importantly, you're able to share the why, what I call the purpose of why
Mhm.
you exist. So if you can do that, then it's amazing the people who will come aboard, of course.
And just because I'm so obsessed with this topic, I'm going to mention one more thing. One of the things I'm beginning to learn is there's a number of categories of stories as a business owner you want to have. So you want to have that why and that founder story that really pulls at someone's heartstrings to share what made this come and how it was born into being, and then that transformation. So whether your company has a product or a service, what is the transformation? Those people, the case studies, the white papers, the testimonials of how people's lives are being changed by it. And just kind of that multitude of different types of stories, um, I think is an important thing to craft as well. Wouldn't you agree, Henry?
Absolutely. And it has to be done in stages as well, because the
Mm-hmm,
folly of many people, particularly at, let's say, even a networking or event, or
mm-hmm,
let's say a Dragon's Den type of event, is to provide a very long story that meanders
mm-hmm,
and loses its focus. Really, it's almost like a bit of speed dating, in which you are trying to convey your story. So if you think about it, your initial story is perhaps 30 seconds. And if you could tell it in those few words, then you draw people in. Then you can offer them
mm-hmm,
a 3 minute story. And then for those who need a little bit more, you can get into longer form, which could be
mm-hmm,
30 minutes. And that's your longer meeting. Too many
mm-hmm,
people jump ahead and try to tell everything all at once, when in fact, all you should do is really intrigue people enough to pull them in a little bit more, seduce them, bring them in, and
mm-hmm.
then you begin sharing more, and then you begin telling the full story.
Well, and I think too, when you can tie a story into a cause marketing piece, and Blanca does this so well with connecting to what she's doing, to her mission and passion of supporting people in such amazing different ways. Um, is there's a glasses company that does this, there's a shoe company that does this, there's a sock company does this, where they give their little mission, vision statement and story of how they got started, and how also a pair of glasses, socks, or shoes, or whatever the product might be, is also going to be given and donated to this community, to this cause, and here's their story, and making it bigger than themselves. So when companies can make their story bigger than, more than about themselves, I think it helps their team, their leadership, their community, their followers, and their raving fans want to be their biggest cheerleaders and share it even further. So it makes that contagion factor, in the good way, for a change, in your branding, right?
Well, what you're talking about is trying to create a movement behind your product, and it really is the conduit to hopefully doing good for many people. And we
Sure.
see these days, the ones that stand out aren't, because there's so many commodity products out there.
Mhm.
What you offer may be the same as everybody else. The way you offer it and what you stand for can be very unique, and that's really
Mhm.
an advantage in that way, if you're able to identify that.
Yeah, very beautiful. Blanca, I'd love for you to share, whether from the massage perspective or from your life coach perspective, a tip that people watching now may hear and may inspire them or may help them in some way today. Do you have a tip for our audience?
Definitely, I do. In a world that we are today, that everything is so fast paced that there's hardly any time even to breathe or to sleep. Self care
Mhm.
is should be a daily practice, not an emergency procedure. Definitely. I am in my profession, I am a fitness instructor for people 55 plus. And what they all say is like, why is everything going so fast? There's no time to breathe. Nobody wants to sleep anymore. Nobody wants to sit down and have a conversation. It's all about 7 seconds. And if in 7 seconds you don't give a full information, they will go to the next and the next and the
Mm,
next.
it's
We
true.
need to calm down. Calm is a superpower. Now
Mhm.
more than ever, people don't take the time to just breathe and embrace the moment. And that's what we call mindfulness. So, my biggest tip for everybody is practice mindfulness, be in the present for a little longer.
Well, I had, you'll be happy to know that I had a day yesterday that was a surprise. So, my husband is a licensed general contractor and he is working on a big project, and the first stage had been completed. So, he planned a day at the home office to do some work, paperwork, and things, and I didn't know. And I had a class that I was supposed to teach in Washington, D.C., but it got rescheduled. So, I had a whole day blocked off. And there we were together, and we spent some special time together. He made me breakfast, and then he had some things to do. But I said, you know what? I'm going to play a little hooky. And then before he got started on his projects, he dropped me. We live 3 minutes from the water, so he dropped me in my new. He got me a kayak for Christmas. He dropped me in my
Wonderful.
new kayak because he was tired of renting them for me because I'm nuts about kayaking, like I'm addicted. He's like,
Good.
it's cheaper for me to buy you one, honey. Let me just here's your own. And so he dropped me in the water, and for almost 4 hours, I paddled around the beautiful day and just enjoyed the water in the middle of the week.
I'm so
Um,
happy for you.
yeah,
That is the way to do it.
that's it.
Be in the moment. And that passion that you have for kayaking, I love kayaking. I love
Uh,
paddle boarding. I love the
mm,
outdoors. And this is the thing. In the world where we are inside so much, do yourself a
mm.
favor. Go
I work.
outside.
I
It's
do.
a
I work
beautiful
outside.
thing.
I work outside very often. A matter of fact, he is doing some research and finding me a phone bracket that he can modify because he's a bit of an inventor too, and attached to my kayak. So if I want to do networking or meetings from my kayak from the water, I can. So I can choose the
Love it.
environment I spend my time in instead of always working inside. And I have a standing desk. You see, you're proud of me with your physical fit. I'm
Love it.
standing, not sitting. Yay, me. So there we go. I love your tip. Henry, now we're going to pull one from you. We need a tip from you. Fair is fair. Give us something good and juicy. Give us a good tip for today.
Absolutely. I firmly believe in, and it's a Shakespeare line, to thine own self be true. Too
Mm,
many times we live roles for other people. We, create this image. We take on a facade. And that's where I often see a lot of unhappiness amongst founders and
mm,
entrepreneurs. They believe they have to be a certain way to succeed, when in fact being authentic and being true to themselves is
mhm,
really that connection to happiness. Because when you're not connected to yourself, that's where the disjointedness happens. So
mhm,
my advice is very simple: just be true to yourself.
mhm. I love that. That's beautiful advice. And we're going to stay with you for a bit longer, Henry. I'm going to ask you if you couldn't share with us and pay attention if you're watching, because this is one of the reasons these unique and amazing industry experts globally are special to us. They're profound not only because they're doing things outside of the box and amazingly in their industry, uh, but also because they have a cause in their community or in the world at large that is a bigger and a better focus. And to me, that is what really takes a person up to that next level of profoundness. So, Henry, share with us a cause that you care about, would you?
I think it's perhaps a bit all-encompassing. I really believe in healthy, nutritious food for everybody, that
Mm,
they should have access to it, whether it's the homeless, whether it is children in school. Access to healthy food is so important because it's the building blocks to your health, your
mm.
well-being, and everything else that goes along. So many of the clients I work with are in this space trying to improve things for the rest of us.
I love that. And I read recently in another book I'm crazy about that your health is a result of your actions. Your weight is a result of your actions and choices. Your bank account balance is a result of your choices and your actions. So, your health is a result. And so, what kind of result are you getting? Which means what kind of actions are you doing in front of that to care for yourself, as Blanca mentioned. So thank you for that cause, Henry. Blanca, how about you? How about a cause that's close to your heart?
I am an ocean lover. I'm an island girl.
Mm,
I was raised in Puerto Rico, and I am a big fan of the ocean. So I am a fan of two platforms. One was created here in Florida, and it's called For Ocean.
mhm,
And they are, I mean, from something so little, they became global, and
mhm,
they really help cleaning the oceans. It's
mm,
something amazing. And then the other platform that I absolutely love is Mission Blue from Sylvia Earle, that is for the protection of the oceans as well. I'm a book author, so all the proceeds of my book, I don't make a penny out of my book. All the proceeds from the sales of the book goes directly to Mission Blue for the protection of the oceans. I'm very passionate about that, definitely.
So this is an amazing and important thing. So if you're watching right now and you feel touched and called by Henry's cause or by Blanca's, then maybe you can give time, treasure, and talent in your community or globally to their specific cause or to a cause like that. Or maybe you have a cause that just makes your heart sing. Put it in the comments. We'd love to hear and help support the awareness of your cause, because awareness is the first step. If someone doesn't know about a great cause, in a way it can support someone, it can't find the people who need it the most. And it can't also receive the volunteers who could get excited and passionate about that cause so that they can dedicate time, treasure, and talent to it. So hit that share button, put those comments in, because just with that little action, you could inspire someone to do something great today, or maybe just be kind to someone. So, thank you for that. All right, we started the teaser of the books, so we're going to go back to Blanca. Blanca, can you tell us a book that was not written by you but inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business? What's a book that you'd like to share?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That
Amen.
is
Great one.
the best thing ever. I have and I mark the pages, and then I go
Mhm,
back to them and I put it
mhm.
down, and I come and go. That book and I, we have a great relationship. I love that book, definitely. It's so inspiring. And let's face it, we all have our ups and downs when it
Mhm,
comes to our personal, to our professional life. That is the
mhm,
reality. That is part of this human experience. So
mhm,
every time I feel down, every time a little bit of imposter syndrome starts
mhm,
hitting on my door, I said, no, I am going to go to my favorite book. Thank you, Napoleon Hill, for this
mhm.
beautiful book. Definitely is a keeper, and everybody should have it. Everybody.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Love it, love, love it. We are creating, you may not know, you and Henry are just getting filled in, but our listeners know we have been running this show for almost 8 years now. And by the end of this year, we'll have reached 1,000 industry experts that we have touched and been able to feature and put in front of so many people's lives from all over the world. And we are building a book of the ultimate book list from all of the guests guests who suggested books throughout the years, the books they suggest, as well as books written by them. And we're creating this directory, and we'll be releasing it at the end of the year as a celebration of reaching 1,000 industry
That's
experts.
fantastic. That's a beautiful
That's
thing.
amazing.
Oh my God, that's great. Yes.
Yeah, we are doing many exciting things with our show. So it's just going to get better. Keep following us, keep watching, keep sharing, because we're going to keep right on loving you and doing great things with our show for both the watchers and for our amazing guests. So, Blanca, are you an author?
Yes, I am actually. I did a co-authorship with 29 other authors from all walks of life, from all over the world, with one common goal: help people with awareness and understand that no matter which dark season we have lived in our lives, there's always a way to come out on the other side. No matter how deep that rabbit hole is, we always have a way to learn the lesson, grow, and keep on going. That is what my book is all about, definitely.
I love that. And I always say that all puzzles, and some people call them problems or challenges or traumas or dark moments or rabbit holes, but I call them puzzles. And I'll tell you why, because puzzles are fun and they're solvable. And people will go out and purchase a puzzle because it is fun to solve it and to learn things from it. And if your puzzle is so many millions of pieces, it just might take a whole community to help you build it. And so puzzles are wonderful. So thank you for sharing that. Henry, you're up. We need a book from you. Something that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business, not written by you. Tell us about a book.
I have to go back to the days of high school, and it still affects me to this day. And it was in my senior year when in class, I was given a book called Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. And it was really the journey of one man who gave up all his worldly possessions to truly find peace and happiness in life. And I think that's driven a lot of what I pursue, or I hope to help people pursue, which is to find their own form of happiness. And for everybody, it's a little bit different, but that idea of going on that journey, I think is very important. So Hermann Hesse inspired me many years ago, and I still try to live by those words today.
And that's fascinating because I think that may be one I have missed or just have forgotten from so long ago. So I might have
Yeah, it's not so much a how-to book as it's a
to.
work of fiction, of course, but so much can be drawn from it.
Yeah, I love
Mm,
it.
definitely.
Sounds lovely and powerful. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to explore that book again. And it's fascinating because several times you spoke today, and I had someone pop in the back of my head. So I'm going to mention him. I am in this really powerful high level mastermind, and there's an individual who is a high level expert in help taking a product from inception to Target, Walmart, dollar stores across the country and placing these products. And he's now on this journey of really looking to do this with products of impact. So specific products that will make a real difference in the world. And so he's focusing on, anything from, I think I've seen him put together a spiritual journal to, just different things. People come to him one with their ideas and want to take it through the journey with his expertise with him and his team. And just really connects to me every time you talk about, getting rid of the possessions made me think of him again because he's now
Mhm.
trying to stay away from just things, but shifting to things that matter more, right? And then you talk about working with clients and building their branding story and telling their story, who really are doing something that's doing something of value for the world and that's pushing it to move, to stretch, to grow, to be a better place. So I think that's very beautiful. I'd love to try to connect the two of you if you feel like that's a good connection for you, Henry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
So you're also an author, Henry. So let's talk about
Mhm.
your book.
Oh, yeah.
We did touch
Yeah.
on it a little earlier because we couldn't help ourselves, but let's talk about it more.
Yeah, no, certainly. It was really put together during the COVID years where
Mhm.
everybody was in lockdown, and it
Mhm.
allowed me the time to put a lot of my methodology down on paper to share with people. It really is meant as a bit of a how-to to perhaps access some of the insights that I've developed over the years. But it's definitely something that I want to share with people because it's easy to read and a step-by-step guide, and many people have found it quite helpful in managing their own brand or their
Mhm.
business as they seek to take it to the next stage.
Have you thought about having a team member from the company run like a virtual book club or community to go through and do the exercises together as a community to work through the book that you created for that soulpreneur, that speaker, that author, that coach, that online course developer who's trying to push that new startup that's trying to push their new thing to use this as a growth point. I'm just tickling your ideas, maybe putting you under a little spot of pressure here live.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought of doing something like that?
It seems to have grown organically because much of the feedback I seem to get is that there are little groups that do that very thing. They bring the book
Very
in and they
cool.
follow step by step to
Mhm.
see if they can exact their own brand. Really, what I'm looking to do is share that. And these forums like the podcast that you run, Jessica, are just wonderful
Mhm.
because it gives some opportunity to hopefully share a little bit of the story and
Mhm.
get people thinking, certainly. So I'm super happy to have participated in this.
Well, I was just going to say, I hope that you and Blanca have loved being on the show as much as I have loved having you. And we thank you who are watching, especially those who are kind and smart enough to hit that share button and share with us in the comments your favorite book, your favorite cause, tips and business and information you may have of value to share with others because you just don't know whose life you can touch and change. But if you are watching and you're an industry expert and you're thinking, hey, wait, I could change someone's personal life. I could make it better. I could help them grow their business. I should be on that show. Well, I'd say the three of us agree with you wholeheartedly. So reach out to us, and our team will get in touch with you on how to get featured on the show. But I always say, be my hero and someone else's. Don't be selfish. If you know another industry expert, because chances are, if you are one, you know one, then you should make sure they get the information on how to be featured too, because we would just love that. So, before we do our final closeout for the day, I am going to lasso these lovely humans for one final piece of information or inspiration before we say goodbye. Henry, what do you have for us?
Uh, Purpose, understand why you're here in this existence, and whether it's business or in personal life. I think it's very important for people to understand the meaning of their own selves. And if you could
Mhm.
spend the time, whether it's in yourself or with others, to come to that, you'll find hopefully a way to be a little bit more profound in your life, which of course relates to your subject matter as well, Jessica.
For sure, for sure. And I think it's probably, I was just trying to figure out and put my finger on approximately how many years ago I had this, I mean, aha moment that seems silly. I should have had like a bazillion years prior to that, but I'm slow, okay? But I think it was about 5 years ago where I really started to dig deep and harder into my business growth. I've been self-help improving myself in all kinds of business technologies for over 30 years now, but um, it started to occur to me that, well, wait, I'm doing all this business growth. What about a life vision or a life mission statement? And, really just what's left? What am I going to leave behind? And how am I positioning what I'm doing, whether it's in business or my personal life, for that to be profound? And so I love that you talk about that, Henry, of really finding your passion and your purpose for your minutes on this planet, however you're gifted, ever many you're gifted, so that we do have that legacy that we leave behind. So really wonderful and lovely final thought to leave us with, Henry. Blanca, the beautiful, the brave, the bold, and the just fantastic Blanca, give us a little bit of information or inspiration as we leave today.
Absolutely. Short and sweet. Self-care is the best care.
Mm-hmm.
My mother used to say, and she still says it till this day, she's 93 years old. Health is wealth. And without health, we have nothing. Please take care of yourselves.
Mm-hmm. All the wealth in the world can't always buy you health. So definitely want to have health
Absolutely.
so that the wealth can do something wonderful for you. And I am going to close this out. I am your host, Jessica Koch. This has been another amazing show with amazing guests. Our show is Profound Professionals. And I have changed how I close our show out. If you've been paying attention, you've been watching for a long time, but I really want people to focus on choose joy, and in all your things, whether it's for your health journey, your personal journey, or your business, choose your goal, decide you're going to do it, commit to doing it. So are you the eggs or the bacon on that breakfast plate? Eggs are involved, bacon is committed, has given its life, right? So commit, take action, but then have some accountability, right? So that we can get that done. All right, everyone, be kind to yourselves out there and be kind to each other. Bye. Thanks so much.
Bye.